Starting off with your forecast because there's a lot more rain on the way that could impact your weekend plans. Let's get right to Ariana Horizon. Now that storm could create big problems because the area is already soaked. That temporary emergency shelter is specifically for the unhoused living here along the Pajaro River, where there are just numerous tents that go on for miles. I'm right next to the San Lorenzo River, and this area used to be underwater just a few days ago, but by about 1 o'clock right now, the water level has not reached this area. Now, there is some speculation that there could be a picket line blocking traffic at the main entrance and the west entrance. That would prevent cars and buses that will not cross a picket line from getting onto the campus. But if you take a look so far, they're pretty organized. That inmate escaped by climbing over a fence like this one. It's about 8 feet tall and lined with barbed wire. This is the furthest point you can travel heading southbound from Monterey on Highway 1 into Big Sur. And we just saw, despite that evacuation warning, 150 cars were lined up right over here trying to catch the last convoy of the day to go home, to go back into Big Sur. And again, that convoy is the only way in and out of the area. Filipino Americans are the second largest Asian ethnicity here in the U.S. But Filipino food is harder to come by compared to most Asian cuisine. Well, I'm here at Laguna Grande Park on a Saturday afternoon because they're selling a Filipino staple dish. I'm standing along the Corralitos Creek where we are starting to see treacherous road conditions with fallen trees and some flooding. We are at an impasse here at Hillcrest Road where we are seeing this rush of water come down the mountainside into this ranch.
Bombs on campus! Bombs on campus!
Intense scene at UC Santa Cruz overnight Friday as police confronted and tried to move pro-Palestinian protesters. You can see them there locking arms as they chanted "Cops off campus" and blocked the main entrance. Multiple police agencies were called in, including officers from the Bay Area and the California Highway Patrol. And later after dawn, police did move in, breaking up barriers in the encampment near the main entrance and arresting 80 people. Some of those taken into custody going limp and then being dragged away by the police. Others were cuffed and walked away with police calmly. The sheriff's bus was then brought in to transport them to the Santa Cruz County Jail for processing. Last night, law enforcement at the main entrance of campus retreated, allowing student protesters to go back to blocking the entrance. This is what it looked like last night as the main entrance remains blocked. However, traffic is being allowed to enter campus through the west entrance. Action News 8 reporter Brisa Colon has more on the events. Turning to our wildfire coverage now as multiple fires continue to burn throughout the state. Evacuation warnings remain in effect in Santa Barbara County as the lake fire has grown to over 13,000 acres with 0% containment. The state of California is facing a multi-million-dollar budget deficit for a second year in a row. And Governor Gavin Newsom revealed how he plans on handling it. Newsom says the state is facing $27.6 billion in a budget shortfall, forcing him to eliminate programs and thousands of vacant jobs. He says those 10,000 jobs could be operated by artificial intelligence. The 66th annual Monterey Jazz Festival kicked off Friday at the Monterey Fairgrounds as generations of jazz lovers coming from far and wide to the Central Coast to enjoy the best of the best. Here's Action News 8 reporter Brisa Colon. It's been 3 years since the river fire in Monterey County, and some are still rebuilding. Action News 8 reporter Leslie Duarte has a closer look at where they are in the recovery process and how the county is helping. Suspects accused of running an animal rescue operation out of a Hollister home are now facing animal cruelty charges. Those allegations were leveled against the operators of Petapalooza Rescue. A bit chilly, but could not have asked for a better forecast for Sunday.
A really nice forecast for today, especially everyone that's going out and about. And if there's any celebrations, it's going to be nice, dry, and safe.
All right, the party's going to be popping.
Definitely.
Thanks, Ariana.
Holy moly. I had no idea. We know the people.
Overnight, a tree collapsed on a home in Monterey Skyline Forest neighborhood.
I had no idea. Now I understand why there are so many people here, or PG&E trucks.
And just around the block, this tree fell on a Mercedes. Neighbors say they are no strangers to falling trees.
In March, just as bad, if not worse. March 2023. So that's only just about 1 year ago.
All this damage caused the Monterey Peninsula to go dark over the weekend. And by Monday evening, thousands were still without power.
This was a significant storm. This was in our top 3 ever of number of outages from a storm event.
PG&E naming Monterey County one of the top counties in California with the most power outages, deploying 370 crew members into the field to set up a command center at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca.
Any type of assessment crews, if we get a call from like CAL FIRE, it'll come in here, and then they'll look at what crews are available, where they're at, and we'll dispatch from there.
While more people are steadily getting back power, PG&E says it could take days before all the power could be brought back. That's assuming the weather does not get worse. It prioritizes addressing safety hazards and emergency infrastructure.
Today we energized the community hospital. We're working on the airport. We have a handful of schools that we're working on trying to get energized. We also had some schools with hazards with their down power lines by the schools, so we're working on making that safe.
PG&E says the goal is to have all damage assessment done by the end of Monday and to pack up their command center by Super Bowl Sunday. Tonight, we're learning that 3-year-old boy's name was Fermin. He was hit by a car less than a block away from here. His body horrifically dragged to this location. 3 days later, Salinas police say they are still looking for the person responsible. These are the moments right before this father and his 3-year-old son were struck by a car in broad daylight Friday in Salinas. His son, Fermin, killed in that crash just minutes after leaving a barber shop.
He told his dad 2 times that in Spanish, que se miraba chulo, that he looks gorgeous.
The father is expected to survive, but police are still searching for the driver, leaving his family aching for justice. Fermin's mom is 7 months pregnant.
Tanto le pido a Dios que no duermo por la noche, que lo agarren y se haga justicia por mi niño.
A store near the crime scene has created blue donation boxes, placing them in other businesses near the memorial. The mom needs help with her husband's medical expenses and for their son's funeral. She says her family was planning to move back to Mexico permanently after Fermin's 4th birthday next year.
Porque yo tenía pensado que mi niño el 8 de junio cumplió 3 años. Y cuando él cumpliera 4 años yo me iba a ir para México con él. Yo no tenía pensado estar mucho tiempo aquí.
Police say they've already obtained a lot of surveillance video. This photo shows authorities seizing the red car believed to be involved. The family says police told them one man was in the car at the time of the crash.
While they were making their way through the crosswalk, a vehicle sped through the intersection, failed to stop for the red light.
A growing memorial filled with flowers and toys remain on East Alisal Street, a painful reminder of a young boy's life cut too short. And tonight, the mom also putting out a warning to the public, saying that she's noticed multiple fake fundraisers online for her family and to not donate to any of them. Right now, the only way to help them out financially is through these donation boxes located on East Alisal Street. Live in Salinas, I'm Christian Balderas, KSBW Action News 8.
Oh my God, right there. Oh man, poor thing, dude.
I know they're everywhere. On what feels like nearly every busy street on the Monterey Peninsula, dead seagulls squashed on the road. Some easy to spot and others not so much. In Monterey, Seaside, and Sand City.
I think either these birds are going crazy and hitting walls, or it like could legit be, man, that there's like something in the sky, man. Aliens or something like that. Like, I don't know, man. It could be anything.
Okay, it's not aliens, but this is a reoccurring phenomenon.
Maybe a little more in the summer with more traffic.
This is fledgling season.
Right now is when baby gulls learn to fly.
Seagulls lay their eggs in May, which then hatch in June. And by around July and August, the birds get their feathers and learn to fly.
This is a very natural part of the fledgling process. They are supposed to be out of the nest on the ground while their parents still tend to them while they learn to fly. Unfortunately, there's nothing natural about where they're landing.
Mark Parker with Sand City's Public Works Department was sent out Wednesday morning to pick up the dead birds at the shopping center. And you went to pick up some seagulls today. I mean, how many did you pick up?
About 6.
That's not out of the normal, you think?
No, and that's just one location.
And there's clearly a lot more throughout this parking lot alone. That's why he and the SPCA advocate for bird deterrence. Some businesses here set up netting, which can encourage the birds to nest in more natural environments like the sand, while other businesses chose not to.
Cars are driving way too fast, and people are expecting these large birds that they don't realize are babies. They're expecting them to fly out of the way, and they can't.